companies. They can seem kind of random, right? You've got electric cars, rockets, brain implants, AI, it's all over the place. But what if there's a hidden logic to it all? What if I told you it's not just a bunch of separate businesses, but actually one single massive blueprint for the future of humanity? Well, let's deconstruct that master plan, and we're going to use his own words to do it.
To really get this blueprint, we have to start where Musk starts. And it's not with some. It's with a really deep philosophical question that's been bugging him since he was a kid. This whole thing for him isn't just about building cool companies. It's about trying to find answers to the biggest questions you can possibly imagine. This quest, this is the engine that drives every single thing he does.
So, what's his answer to the meaning of life? Well, it's a mission to expand consciousness. And he has this really fascinating way of explaining it. He says, look, a human being with our 30 trillion cells is just infinitely more conscious than, say, a single bacterium. He believes that exact same principle applies to all of us as a species. If we can connect humanity, we can become a more conscious superorganism, one that's better equipped to understand the universe. This one idea, that's his North Star.
Okay, so expanding consciousness sounds pretty huge, right? I mean, where do you even begin? Well, for Musk, step one is to build a kind of digital nervous system for all of humanity. And, yep, that's exactly where his vision for the platform X comes in.
He explains this with a pretty powerful analogy. A single person, he says, could never build a spaceship. No way. It's just too complex. But a collection of humans, sharing all their knowledge and working together, that's how we pull off the impossible. His big goal for X is to be that platform for collaboration, a true global town square that's designed to raise our collective IQ.
And this is where he draws a really sharp line in the sand. He looks at a lot of the social media platforms out there and calls them dopamine-generating streams. Basically, things engineered to get us addicted, what he bluntly calls potential brain rot. His vision for X is the total opposite, a tool for real, substantive information exchange, one that's designed to actually make us smarter, not just keep us scrolling.
So, connecting all of our minds digitally, that's just the first layer. The next step is to build the actual physical hardware to support and expand this new consciousness. And this is where his other famous companies all start to converge into one incredibly powerful system.
This is where you can really see the pieces of the blueprint just locked together. These aren't separate companies. Tesla isn't just making cars, it's mastering real-world AI and sustainable energy. SpaceX isn't just launching rockets, it's building global satellite connectivity for everyone. And X.AI, well, that's the core intelligence that's going to bind the whole thing together. Each one feeds the others, creating this powerful tech ecosystem.
And then this quote just reveals the stunning endgame of it all. The future he's building is powered by a network of solar-powered AI satellites in deep space. I mean, just think about that. It combines Tesla's energy and AI smarts with SpaceX's rockets, creating a self-sustaining, intelligent infrastructure that basically expands humanity's nervous system out into the cosmos. So a global collective consciousness with this massive, intelligent network in space, what does a future like that actually look like for us down here on the ground? Well, according to Musk, it leads to one of the most radical shifts in society in all of human history. And here it is, maybe his most radical prediction of all. He believes that in less than 2 decades, work as we know it will be optional. Not for a few rich people, but for everybody. He argues that AI and robotics will create such an unbelievable abundance of goods and services that the basic need to work for survival could just, well, evaporate.
He kind of maps out this transition pretty clearly. We go from where we are today, where work is a necessity, to a near future where it's more like a hobby, something you do for personal fulfillment, not to pay the bills. And this all leads to what he calls the singularity, an age of incredible abundance. And get this, he's not just talking about universal basic income, he predicts universal high income, where pretty much any goods or services you want are available on demand.
A future without work, powered by AI and space? I know, it's an almost overwhelming vision. So how does all this translate into practical advice for those of us who are trying to build things today? Well, Musk boils his entire grand plan down into a few surprisingly simple principles for the next generation of creators.
His number one piece of advice is to stop chasing money. Instead, focus like a laser on utility. He believes that if you create something that is genuinely useful to other people, financial success is just going to follow as a natural byproduct. It's about creating value first and foremost.
And this quote, this gets right to the heart of his entire philosophy. It's not just about building a successful business, it's about being a net positive force for humanity. The ultimate question you have to ask yourself is, am I contributing more than I'm consuming? For Musk, that is the real measure of a life's work. So you see, his advice isn't some complex business tactic. It's a mindset. Focus on creating real value, on being a net contributor, and on pursuing work that genuinely fulfills you. The financial success, he argues, will just be a byproduct of adding something truly meaningful to the world. So whether you look at this blueprint and see a perfect utopia or a terrifying dystopia, you can't deny it's one of the most ambitious visions of our time. It reframes entrepreneurship as something much bigger than just building a company. It's about contributing your piece to the future of human consciousness. And that leaves all of us with a single, really powerful question. What will you build?